Okay, let's start with a word you've probably used a million times. It seems super simple, right? But what if I told you that hidden inside its dictionary entry is a clue? A clue to a massive world-changing idea. So that's the big question, isn't it? How much work can one single word really do? We're often taught that a bigger vocabulary is always better. But what if the real power isn't in having tons of words, but in having a few words that can do a whole lot? That's the idea we're going to unpack today. And the word we're going to put under the microscope is flight. Seems pretty straightforward, but when you actually look it up, you start to see just how hard this one little word really works. Check this out. The Simple English Wiktionary breaks it down into 4 completely different meanings. First, you've got the act of flying, like a bird. Then there's a trip on a plane. Then it can mean an escape, like running away from something. And get this, it's even an Air Force unit. 4 totally separate ideas, all packed into one simple word. Now that's already pretty cool. But as I was digging through the source material, something else caught my eye. It wasn't another definition. Nope. It was just a small note, almost hidden, that completely opens up this much, much bigger story. So this is where we go from just talking about a word to, well, uncovering a hidden message. Our simple little word is about to become the key to a whole new way of thinking about language itself. And there it is. That's the note. It says the word flight is on the Basic English 850 list. My first thought was, what in the world is that? An 850 list? It sounds like some kind of secret exclusive club for words, right? Which, of course, leads us to the question you're probably thinking right now. What on earth is Basic English? Well, let's dive in. Okay, so here's the deal. Basic English is basically a stripped-down version of English. It was designed with one big goal in mind, to be a super simple, really clear tool for people from different countries to communicate. And the whole thing, the entire language, is built on a core list of just 850 words. Now, this gets you thinking, right? How can you possibly explain all the complex stuff in the world with such a tiny number of words? Well, it turns out it's all about choosing the right tools for the job. I mean, really think about that number for a second. 850. The average English speaker knows tens of thousands of words. So how could this tiny set possibly be enough? The secret isn't about how many words you have. It's about how powerful and flexible those words are. And this slide really breaks down the whole game plan. The goal? Clear communication, everywhere. The method? Treat language like a toolkit. Instead of having a special tool for every single tiny job, you have a few really powerful, multi-purpose tools that can handle almost anything. The idea is to pick flexible words, not super specific ones, so you can build big ideas from simple blocks. Okay, so let's bring it all back to our hero word, flight. Because this is where the light bulb really goes on. This is where you see exactly why flight was chosen to be one of the elite 850. Yes, this is it. This is the key. Basic English isn't just simple talk. It's a system that was carefully designed to find the most powerful, most efficient, most hardworking words in the entire language. Words that can pull double, triple, or even quadruple duty. So you can really see the difference in thinking here. Standard English loves having a super specific word for everything, right? You've got soar, glide, flee, abscond, journey, squadron. Basic English says, hold on, let's find one core word that can get us most of the way there, and we'll let the context fill in the rest. It's all about core ideas, not tiny little shades of meaning. And that is the aha moment. This is exactly why flight made the cut and got into the 850 club. The fact that it can describe a bird in the sky, a trip on a 747, the act of escaping danger, and a military unit, that makes it an incredibly efficient piece of language. It's not just a word, it's a multi-tool. It's powerful. So you see, the story of flight isn't just about what one word means. It's about this radical idea. The idea that with a small, powerful set of words, we could create a much simpler way to talk to each other all across the globe. So it leaves you with a pretty big question. Could a simple toolkit of just 850 words actually build a bridge between worlds? Now that's something worth thinking about.